Croc vs. CM Punk tension. Celebrity chaos before Mania 42. WWE locker room frustration. Triple H calls out talent. Rhea Ripley hospitalized. Charlotte responds to backlash. Jericho gets slammed. WWE accused of crowd censorship. Mind behind Punk's pipe bomb. So make sure to subscribe and drop a like if you haven't already. And now, with Triple H steering the creative direction, WWE is getting ready to host WrestleMania 42 from the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on April 18th and 19th. This event is supposed to be the company's largest of the year and will showcase its top stars. However, this year's Mania is having trouble building excitement, and several factors have also impacted ticket sales. The Showcase of the Immortals usually has no problem selling tickets, but things are different this year. Fans aren't as invested in the storylines leading up to the show, unlike the Manias from the last few years. Many of these problems are connected to the individual in charge of creative, Triple H. Here are 5 distinct ways in which Triple H might have disappointed the WWE Universe as we approach WrestleMania 42. Hey viewers, which one of these issues bothers you the most? Feel free to comment below. This is WrestleMania after all, not some ordinary episode of Raw or SmackDown. The narratives building up to the big show are generally filled with different levels of bad blood between the competitors. The preparation for these clashes begins way before the official start of the WrestleMania road at the Royal Rumble, as the narratives push toward a clear conclusion. But unfortunately, that hasn't been how things have played out for this year's edition of the grandest stage under Triple H's watch. It feels like the matches are being thrown together randomly, with hardly any meaningful setup just weeks out from the event. Take Gunther, for example, who was the most unstoppable force in WWE as we entered 2026, but now he's scheduled to battle Seth Rollins in a one-on-one contest at WrestleMania, and there's barely any real story behind it. In the same vein, the Intercontinental Championship ladder match comes across as something assembled just to give the up-and-coming stars a spotlight on the large platform. What do you guys think? Is a ladder match without a strong backstory still worth the hype or not? Share your opinion down below. And Triple H is known as the cerebral assassin, but could it be that he's running short on fresh concepts? WrestleMania bouts are normally high-stakes encounters that serve as the central focus of the narratives leading up to the event, yet Triple H appears to have neglected this crucial element in preparation for this year's production. The primary draw for this year's event is the clash between CM Punk and Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. However, the championship itself is seldom referenced in any of the promotional segments building toward the contest. The preparation for the headline match revolves around Roman referring to Punk as aged, while Punk showed disrespect toward Reigns' family members. On the flip side, Pat McAfee appears to have captured the attention away from the storyline involving Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Even within the women's WWE title rivalry, the focus seems to be more on Rhea Ripley's interaction with Io Shirai rather than the championship gold that Jade Cargill is defending. It looks as though Triple H may have exhausted his supply of creative concepts when arranging this year's Mania. Do you agree that the main event needs more emphasis on the title, or is the personal drama enough for you? Tell me in the comment section. And the demon descends disastrously. The WWE Universe has been yearning for years to see Finn Balor pushed as a single star in the Stamford-based promotion. The Prince had been stuck in the Judgment Day vortex for the past few years and was far away from the main event scene. The fans were hyped when Balor turned babyface after getting kicked out of the Judgment Day. The match between Balor and Dominic Mysterio was being seen as one of the marquee bouts on the show. While fans were expecting to see the Demon return at WrestleMania, they were clearly disappointed when the Triple H-led company spoiled the surprise on their social media. Many believe WWE announced the Demon's return beforehand to boost ticket sales for the show. Isn't it a bummer when surprises get spoiled early? What do you think about that? Let us know. And where are the WWE superstars? WrestleMania 42 is set to feature matches involving all the biggest stars on the WWE roster. However, the same superstars are barely present on the weekly shows leading up to the Showcase of the Immortals. Until a few years ago, stars featured on the Mania card also competed on the weekly episodes of Raw and SmackDown and made regular appearances. However, Triple H hasn't been featuring the main event talent on the weekly episodes of Raw and SmackDown as much as he should. Despite being in the Night 2 main event, Roman Reigns has been absent for most of the WrestleMania 42 build. On the other hand, neither Brock Lesnar nor Obafemi has been appearing regularly on Raw. While Triple H might be protecting his stars from potential injury by limiting their appearances, this has heavily impacted the show's build-up. Have you noticed the lack of big names on weekly TV lately? Does it bother you, or is it smart booking? Share your opinion in the comments. And celeb overload sparking major headaches before WrestleMania 42. One of the biggest problems with this year's Mania is the heavy involvement of celebrities in major storylines. WWE has involved celebrities on the road to WrestleMania on many occasions to attract fans. However, this year the celebrities seem to be the main focus leading up to the show rather than the actual matches. Triple H received heavy criticism for involving Travis Scott in the main event of WrestleMania last year, yet he's repeating the same mistake by involving celebs like Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll in the undisputed WWE Championship storyline, which already has stars like Cody and Randy with 20 years of history together. The show is also set to feature celebrity stars like Lil Yachty and Speed, while talent like Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov are not even on the card. What do you think? Is too much celeb involvement ruining the show, or does it help bring in new fans? Let us know. And now, moving on to how the WWE roster is growing frustrated as WrestleMania 42 nears. Look, recently Pat McAfee making his comeback and stepping in as Randy Orton's mystery caller and fresh spokesperson heading into WrestleMania 42 might just be the largest point of contention as we head into the big show. The choice left the viewers puzzled, and there were reports of irritation behind the scenes. According to information from PW Insider, individuals apparently raised their hands in confusion when McAfee was incorporated into the rivalry because it didn't align with the story. The performers were reportedly irritated by Pat McAfee being inserted into one of the most significant storylines heading into WrestleMania, which really didn't need any extra elements given the long shared background between Orton and Rhodes. Furthermore, there is understanding for the undisputed WWE champion, who now has to work harder to promote the rivalry with McAfee's participation included as well. Subsequently, additional reports surfaced indicating that the decision to feature McAfee's appearance originated from TKO Executive Chairman Ari Emanuel, rather than the creative team led by Triple H. It was further noted that Rhodes' promotional segment later that evening, where he critiqued the McAfee revelation, was an impromptu addition from creative as a form of response. Now yet another report has surfaced illuminating the sentiments of the performers backstage regarding McAfee's segment. On an appearance on Self-Made Sessions, Ibu from Self-Made Pro shared that he had a conversation with a WWE performer present at that SmackDown television taping, and he revealed that there are concerns backstage. I chatted with a WWE talent who was present at that SmackDown television taping, right? And I won't quote their message word for word, but they did communicate with me, and they did convey the following on the record. They basically informed me that if this was a scripted element that WWE was aware of, it undermines all the work that they as performers put into the show, and it simply makes the entire group look unfavorable, he stated. EB went on to say that if it was Pat McAfee acting on his own initiative, then it was even more problematic. He also noted that the performers view the entire scenario as chaotic and not helpful. They also feel it establishes a risky precedent. The other aspect is there is considerable concern right now about whether this is creating a pattern for more of the same going forward. Is it going to become standard practice now where if business isn't booming, completely selling out every ticket? Is Ari going to intervene whenever things are slowing down? Is he just going to intervene and say, "All right, Hunter, handle this over the weekend," he added. So, fans, is this kind of external interference worry you, or do you think it can add something new to the storylines? Let us know what you believe down in the comments. And now, moving on to how the WWE roster is growing frustrated as WrestleMania 42 nears. Look, recently Pat McAfee making his comeback and stepping in as Randy Orton's mystery caller and fresh spokesperson heading into WrestleMania 42 might just be the largest point of contention as we head into the big show. The choice left the viewers puzzled, and there were reports of irritation behind the scenes. According to information from PW Insider, individuals apparently raised their hands in confusion when McAfee was incorporated into the rivalry because it didn't align with the story. The performers were reportedly irritated by Pat McAfee being inserted into one of the most significant storylines heading into WrestleMania, which really didn't need any extra elements given the long shared background between Orton and Rhodes. Furthermore, there is understanding for the undisputed WWE champion, who now has to work harder to promote the rivalry with McAfee's participation included as well. Subsequently, additional reports surfaced indicating that the decision to feature McAfee's appearance originated from TKO executive chairman Ari Emanuel rather than the creative team led by Triple H. It was further noted that Rhodes' promotional segment later that evening, where he critiqued the McAfee revelation, was an impromptu addition from